I believe in the power of learning, and so does Smart Deal Academy. This incredible nonprofit serving the greater Charlotte area is changing lives through personalized tutoring, homeschool teaching, and enrichment classes for students of all ages. From pre-K phonics to private music and Spanish lessons, Smart Deal creates a safe, joyful space where kids grow in confidence and curiosity. This work only happens because of generous donations from those who believe every student deserves a chance to thrive. Every dollar fuels one-on-one support, creative programming, and the kind of encouragement that sticks with a child for life. Be a part of that impact by visiting smartdeal.com and make a tax-deductible donation today. Let's build a brighter future together.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
David, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. The Tunstall organization.
Yes.
Congrats. I thought just having Make Your Day Richer was exciting, but
Right.
How did you get into taxes, CP? Like, you weren't a 5-year-old like, you know what I want to do one day?
That's a great question. So I started on my own in 2002, and I was Tunstall Financial. And financial kind of has implications of like maybe a certified financial planner or something like that. So I thought, okay, well, maybe to steer back towards the accounting, because when I went out on my own in 2002, my own business, it was a sole proprietorship, and I was working in restaurants and nonprofits doing bookkeeping. And I was like, okay, I was in New York, and I guess I have to admit this. I'm like, all right, well, who's a successful New York business person? And like, okay, the Trump organization. And I'm like, okay, the Tunstall organization. Yeah. We both have the last name T. Okay. And so I was just like, I could use that as an entity type. And so the S Corp became the Tunstall organization. So that's a good question. I was not expecting that. And you really unearthed like 20 plus years of history, but nice.
Well, your therapist is here, so we can. No, they're not here.
Right.
Well, I love that though, but I want to tell people really like how you help them and how you can help them. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing over there at the organization?
Yeah. At the base level, it's taxes, bookkeeping, and payroll, like at the very base level. And then from there, if that's all correct and good and working and wonderfully put together, then you can go to financial analysis and look at the profit and loss statement and the balance sheet of your business and see, hey, how is the business doing? You can analyze different drivers of the business. Okay, revenue went up, which is like a lagging indicator, but why did it go up? Were there more leads that you had this month, or something like that? So there's a driver behind each of the the numbers in the financial statements. And so I can help people, and I can enable business owners to utilize that to make smart decisions.
And are you working with them on just the business side, or also on the personal side?
Most of the time, the ideal client is somebody on the business side. But there are W-2 people that maybe a husband and wife, high income earners that don't want to go to like an H&R Block or something, but want more personal service and on the tax prep side, we'll do that.
Okay. Is there a size of a business, of an organization that you'll work with?
Ideally, it's a business. Okay, so I'm going to give you the ideal and then the reality. Ideal, it's going to be a business owner or some type of business that's revenue is over $1 million. And if they're over $1 million, they have different problems than somebody that might be at like 250. But anywhere from like 250 to $1 million, they are scaling towards that, so
Yeah.
we can help them. But the ideal is going to be $1 million plus revenue, because
Mhm.
they're going to have scaling issues that are like more real than somebody who might just be a sole operator at a lower revenue amount.
So it sounds then to like you're not. I'm trying to think of like at what phase kind of do you come in? Not really at the beginning of a business, right?
Well, so that's the other thing is if a business is well capitalized from the beginning. So there have been cases where we've worked with venture-backed startups where they have millions of dollars of capital in the bank account,
Mm-hmm.
no revenues,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just spending. They're from the beginning growing their businesses. We've worked with them, but they're. I mean, this is another transition. I moved from New York to Charlotte in 2017. The market here in Charlotte is less venture-backed startup
Mm-hmm.
and more, let's call it maybe mom and pop businesses, more service-based businesses. Different. It's just a different, let's say, animal, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And you're based in Union County, right?
Correct. Well, that's where I live. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, how does that work with? I mean, we're so close to South Carolina, North Carolina. Do you have to be licensed in both of those? Like, who do you work with? Like, what geographically, who can you work with?
Yeah. As a CPA, I'm licensed in the state that I have my business in, which is
Okay.
North Carolina. There's reciprocity in all 50 states.
Okay.
So I can file a California tax return. I can file a South Carolina, New York City, whatever.
Okay.
So it's and frankly, on the bookkeeping side, there's no real, I guess, certification that has any teeth to it anyway. So kind of anybody can be a bookkeeper,
Okay.
and then the marketplace kind of like decides like what's good and what's not.
Okay. It's the end of the year.
Yeah.
Is there a time of year? Is it the beginning of the year that people usually start businesses? Like, is there anything special happening this time of year that people should be aware of or thinking of? Or
I mean, now is a good time we're like November
mm-hmm.
before year end.
Mm-hmm.
There's potentially some tax planning that
Yeah.
you could do.
Yeah.
Just either accelerate investments, expenses, something like that the business needs that you might otherwise put off to January or something.
Okay.
So that could potentially lower your tax liability in this year. That's like the obvious one. And then there's other things like, if you're a W-2 employee, you could uh, maximize your benefits, the 401k, the HSA, the FSA, like all of the things that a lot of employers, not all, but some employers offer to their employees.
Okay. Is there a good or bad time to start a business or leave a job?
I mean, practically, I would say look, businesses need capital to survive.
Yeah.
So if you can transition with good revenue, then sure. Like if you can that's what happened to me. I actually got laid off from my job in 2002 when I went out, and I was able to replace my W-2 income in like three days.
Wow.
Where I was working 5 days a week, in my W-2. So I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. But it just depends on your industry, your business, and some people are able to capitalize their business with a lot of money too, as well, even before pre-revenue. So that might be a good time if they have the right idea and they're just going to go for it.
Yeah. Okay. What's at like what point in having a business should someone be calling you? Like I know we had like a dollar amount, but is that like should we prepare before we hit that mark and call you to like talk about that, or does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it probably does make sense once you have some traction. To be honest, but in reality, I will talk to business owners if they're just starting out,
Okay.
and maybe guide them in a way that might be a DIY for a little bit. And like, hey, here's some things you can do as you grow your business, and here's some ways that you could, track your revenue and expenses on, on a P&L, even if it's just cash basis for taxes. That might be helpful. But yeah, it's not the ideal client profile for our business, but I'm happy to talk
To help people.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
What is the best way that people can connect with you?
Probably email
Okay.
is david@tunstallorg.com, or go to the website and check us out and fill out a form, tunstallorg.com. And yeah, that's probably the best way.
Okay. What do you love most about your life right now?
Um, gosh, it's life. I'm over 50, so it's like I've done some things, but like I was recently re-inspired by actually a mutual a friend of ours, or mutual co-networker. Like, hey, like, look, the future. His comment to me was like, okay, over 50, you're kind of just getting started. He's older than me. And that was like a really cool perspective, because it's like, okay, I've had this life up to this period, but it's like, you know what? The future is great.
Yeah.
And so having that perspective is probably one of the good things about life right now. But I have 4 kids, I have a family, I have my wife, and so yeah, we're just doing our best, because the kids are in like transitioning to college, and we have 4. So that's it's I'm sorry, you asked about the great things. Like, that's wonderful, but it's also challenging.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Who's the networker that we both know? We'll do a test to see if they're watching, to see if they see this.
I believe his name is Stefan.
Stefan,
Mr.
of course
Stefan.
it is.
Yeah.
Stefan. Hi. And all of our BNI friends. Tell everybody hi. Hi. Before we head out today, will you play a game with me?
Sure.
Okay. It's an easy game.
Okay.
It's called Write Off or Rip Off.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to give you some scenarios.
Okay.
You get to decide if it's a write-off, that it really happened, it was a news story or a headline somewhere,
Okay.
or a rip-off and I just made it up.
Okay.
All right? You have to get 3 out of 5 correct, and the entire studio audience, all the people out here.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, don't be nervous. So there's a lot of people in the audience.
Okay.
Big prize. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, number 1. A junkyard owner deducted cat food to attract wild cats for pest control.
Write off.
That is true. That happened. Number 2. A CPA deducted a trip to Burning Man as a networking event.
I think there might be extra external circumstances that may make that a write-off, but let's call it rip-off.
That's a rip-off. That is true. You get this one right, and the entire audience wins a big prize. Okay, number 3. A professional clown deducted red nose polish as a business expense.
Write-off.
That is true. You got all 3 right, all in a row. The game is over. No need to be nervous. There you go. You did it. You did it. Everyone's clapping. Don't worry. David, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I appreciate it.